All right, so by request, I haven't been doing any Lego stuff. All right, well, I got a lot of Lego stuff to do. I really want to do my one-of-a-kind Lego stuff if I ever get around to doing it. But here is something that I saved my Christmas money for. My last $10, my Christmas money, finally I found it a few weeks ago. And I put it together, and I just haven't done a video on it at all because I figure, what's the point of me doing a Lego video when like people like Jang do perfect Lego videos? So, yeah. Well, if you want to know my 2 cents worth on this, it's $10 well spent. I don't say investment. I heard somebody say investment the other day. I was like, they're not investments. You're not going to sell these and make billions of dollars off of them. So, wow, the background really eats it up. So let me put it up higher. Oh, no, that blue is much better. Much better blue. Plus, I can't get the tripod to float in midair back here because I don't have enough room in my tiny little place here. So here is the way it looks. Now, you know, people go, well, it's got an open cockpit, which is completely impossible. We're talking about cartoon land here, okay? Number one. Number two, remember those little starfighters that are impossible, that are on Star Wars, that they're like $10 for those? I pretend like these are like basically the same thing. It's a much better build than those, but it's open air, which I know is impossible like for this, but it's a cartoon, so it's gonna be okay. There's a lot of fake out builds, so this isn't completely built out right here, which I thought was kind of like, meh, that was kind of bad. So these little panels right here are actually covering. I thought they're going to be like, you know, when you're a jet, you have like extra fins sometimes. And I guess they could become fins because it's not covering up too much right there, but it helps with the aesthetic. And the bottom ones as well, which really doesn't help the bottom because it doesn't look that well. And it's got the little side shooters right there, the little bullets. These swords are not mobile, but watch, these are for some reason. Like, I guess if you're driving by somebody or flying by somebody, you want to attack from behind. I don't know how. Like, you get in front of them and you slam on your brake, and they fly into it, and they get cut up because it's a cartoon. So yeah, I think it's a pretty cool looking little build myself. Although now I'm like really itching to make it into a mecha somehow. There's not any really bending points on this, so you can't really do any kind of you know, like the little ball joints on the mixel joints that a lot of mechas made out of. You can do the points that are breaking these, and the ones that are holding the swords, you can maybe make something like a bending arms, but I hate using those for that because they're a lot weaker. That's what I feel like. The knees on this guy right here, I feel like that's a weak point. I really don't like that. So that's why I got mine standing like this at all times. The mixel joints I like better, but the really bigger joints, I like them being better. Like, well, he doesn't have any. He's just got mixel joints. But then they got the knees like this, which I'm like, really? Why would you do that? So you can do it with these maybe, like the points right there and those. But yeah, I would just rather mix it up with some mixels or something. And I know I have some packs of mixels out in the building somewhere, but I don't know. I want to get out there. Well, I just went out to the building, got some comic books out to read, so I'm good. Anyway, so my opinion, for $10, you're getting a lot of bang for your buck there. Honestly, it's still a very nice build. I forgot how many pieces are in it, but hey, if you want a good review, check out Jang. I'm sure he's got one of these already up. I haven't been watching his videos that much. I think he's not been on very much. I saw a video of his the other day where he was talking about how toxic the environment is on YouTube. Talk about toxic. I mean, the internet in general. Now, the window does come forward, and your little guy comes out. Now, the guy, I don't like the yellow on him and the yellow on the ship, but it really does stand out on him. Maybe it's because his skin is yellow. I don't know. It just looks really, it's pastel. And one sleeve being yellow, it's not my favorite interpretation of, oh God, what is his name? I can't remember his name off the top of my head. I used to know all their names. It's got two different faces, though. It's got a skittish face. Wait, is this little Lloyd? Lloyd? I can't remember off the top of my head. It looks kind of little Lloyd's face right there. Gosh, now I am feeling really bad. Well, I'll find out by the time I put the video up because it's got his name on the jet. It's like probably Lloyd's jet. But it's got the little crotch separator right there to put his feet in. So there's no, like, you know, like there's no attaching it like you do with the regular pegs. And you don't have to have the sword in his hand. I just like to have the weapons in their hands. Now, I did have some leftover pieces, but they're like the little pieces, like those kind of things, like the little teeny tiny pieces. So nothing amazing. Yeah. Well, anyway, so I've been babbling on for 4 minutes. If you stuck with me, thank you so much. So this is by request.